Hello and welcome to Bella Arts. I got some things in store today. I'm sorry I'm late. For those of you that are watching live, really fun play last night. Um, and I'm excited to tell you about it. So, after last night's stream, a few of us tried to get together and we found another book that we could all hang out in, and that's the Rita Berman Europe one. Um, and I'm excited to do this book because I've never done any Rita Berman, to be honest with you. And I'm excited, and I'm on this mission to do background. So, what I thought I would do is show you this background and show you what I did because this book, I'm going to find the other. We have a second copy here, and hello. The original picture does not look like this one. It looks like where are you? Did I pass you? Hello, Amy. Hello, Amy. Welcome. Oh, goodness. Where is it in this book? I had the hardest time finding this one. All the lines are like so squiggly that there it is. So you can see in this book that there's this border tile and this cute little saying and squiggly wigglies, and you can see the border, right? Well, I decided to remove all that because it's just too much for me, and I wasn't really enjoying that part of it. So I took some gesso. I actually had made a mistake and started putting clear gesso on it. Why am I putting clear gesso on it? I will be able to still see the lines. Now I can see some of them way up close. I can see some of those lines, but I also decided that I didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't want to like ruin the paper, and I didn't know how much it could handle and all those things. So it's got texture. It feels like really like, oh, super fine sandpaper. Feels like that. If you don't like that feeling, it's probably not going to be the right background technique for you. But so I started off with putting clear gesso on, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I stopped, dried that, and then put white gesso over everything. And some of the areas, like you can see things peeking through. I also didn't know what to do. I used these Jane Davenport like lipsticks, I think she called them. In the States anymore, you have to buy them online. They're a lot like Neo 2s, and they're big fat waxy crayons that are water soluble, and she has her own like colors that she does. So it's in her color, and I really enjoy it. So I used a few of them on here. My dog cannot for the life of me, him, figure out who I'm talking to, and he thinks I'm talking to him. So yeah. That would yeah, so that's my thing, Amy. I'm gonna do that on this other side. I'm gonna show you how I did this background. Um and yes, we're doing that tonight. So a couple other things I wanted to kind of tell you about is about our watercolor paint line and our ceramics a little bit, and I wanted to show you a couple things. I will be replacing, for those of you that have seen my watercolor collection over here, you there's a lot of them. There's more than, I think there's close to 500 now. So as I'm replacing them, I make ceramic half pans. So they're ceramic, they're not plastic. I think I've mentioned in the past that plastic really bothers me, for a multitude of reasons. So let's see about that sound. That sound is just marvelous. Um, I have some in these little rounds, either the chocolate clay body, and they're a little bit more natural, a little bit more bohemian, I suppose, but they make great for half pan, and they're about the size that you would put in a regular half pan. So that's pretty cool. Some of mine are a little bit bigger. These that I have here are literally all of the ones that I didn't or couldn't or wouldn't sell for some reason, because you have no guarantee in ceramics in any way, shape, or form what is actually going to happen. So I have started doing this. And so instead of having a bunch of plastic ones, as they are no longer, you know, um, available, the paint, I've ran out, I will fill them up with these. So just wanted to share those with you. And hello, love. And then the star of the hour, Sarah, was ever so kind to surprise me when I woke up today with these beautiful books. I'm so ecstatic. I haven't had new coloring books in so long. Hello, Michelle. Welcome, welcome. That it just seems overwhelming to me. Even crack open. I just have like such guilt over another coloring book, but I'm so thankful, and I'm like, get over yourself, Jess, because it's okay for you to have things too, even though you have like 200 of them or whatever. That's okay, you can have 202. So then I also got this one. So excited for all of the different things. I have been watching video after video after video on different colorists and how they're getting past, the little baby people that are in some of the Maria Trolle. Um, yeah, I'm really loving it. I did want to ask though, Sarah also surprised me with I don't know what this thing is. It's called an air hug. And I was wondering if it's helping with the background noise. Can you hear the dogs barking? Don't mind. Hello, Kitty. She's got to stay there. I'm so happy to see all of you here. Thank you so much. So now that we have established what the original picture, I should probably put a mark there again so I don't do it to myself. Again, here you go, right to the page. Isn't that beautiful? Let me go ahead and put a sticky there. Yeah, let's put sticky there so that we can reference back what the originals look like again. And that way, if we have any questions or anything like that, a little, but not nearly as loud as there we go. That's what's important to me, because it is nothing but annoying to me, but I live with it day in and day out. But Remy was just growling really loud right here. And so I didn't know if maybe you could hear that or not. And so I'm thrilled to death if this is going to help at all. Because I get really like anal retentive about the background noise because I am extremely sensitive to noise. And I know for me, it will be the difference between me being able to watch somebody's live or not. And that's a real true fact for me. Like I really struggle with that stuff. So I have like noise sensitivity issues. Okay. So as cute as I'm trying to get you in the picture here so we can see what has happened and is going to happen. Okay. Oh, Lori, you're still, yeah, that cold or flu that's going around is, I hear something pretty fierce these right now. Okay, I am almost under control, my friends. I gave a shout out for people to come join our color along, and Kim Creative said she's going to color. Oh, good. Perfect. I'm glad Kim's joining. Um, and whoever else, everyone, you please join. It's so fun. I'm like a sucker for like a big group activity. I'm like a little bit woohoo about it. Okay, so I remember I told you yesterday I started out with clear. And just because I have moved everything around, I don't know where my white is. Oh goodness, it's right here. Thank goodness. I've stood up a ton of times. I'm trying to get everything going for this. So bear with me. I'll probably be out of breath quite a bit. Oh, I hope you feel better. Is there anything you can take? My mom had that and she ended up having to go get antibiotics. And I'm glad she did because her cough and stuff has started to subside. It just didn't get any better. Okay, so these are the Jane Davenport lipsticks. I thought she called them. She has she has, what is that dog called? The fluffy one, the little fluffy one. I like Penny. What's Penny, Sarah? Chihuahua. Man, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, cute. Those little cute little fluff ball dogs. She has one, and all of her art has something to do with her little paw print or little doll. Not doll, dog. So anyway, these are the colors I used yesterday. But before we step into that, I have to prep the page with gesso. And I'm actually going to replicate exactly what I did yesterday because I don't, okay, I'll just go into the white because there's too many steps. Yeah, take your time with it and see if maybe drink hot tea, take warm showers, just make sure it doesn't, settle into your lungs, I guess, like it did my mom. But if you feel healthy enough, then I get it. I'm doing okay. Michelle, I'm better today. I'm better today than I have been. I'm stronger and better today. Um, yeah, thanks for asking. Okay, this is so thick, so I'm shaking the Corolla out of it. And that's very difficult for me when I have to do stuff like that. So, yay. Okay, I'm going to spray a little bit of water in there because it's really thick. And this stuff goes on. I swear it feels like I'm rubbing baking soda on it. So it's so thick. Okay, let's see. We've got all of this. I really like it, but I want it to look the same as this, where I like let go of all of those outer things. Shih Tzu? That's my. Oh, yeah, yours is a Shih Tzu. Cute. Yeah, our best friend Angeli, she has a Shih Tzu, and that dog and I have a very special bond. She's my little lady. So I'm just covering it up. And my thought process was I didn't want it to clump, and this stuff seems to go on really thick. And so I'm spreading it out as thin as possible at first, almost just like a little graze over it. She is a Pomeranian, a mini Pomeranian. That's what that puppy is. That's what it is. Soon. So spill the tea, everybody. How are you? How are you? What's going on in your lives? What's happening? I think I might leave this a little one here and see if I like it. So for a long time, I didn't buy books like this with all these like cutesy little things in it because I really don't like a lot of liner. I want to put the lines in. I want to put the texture in. I want to learn how to do those. So um, those are the things that I was like, I don't really like that. I'm not going to buy it. So I didn't realize that we don't have to obligate ourselves to everything that the illustrator put on the page. And I couldn't stop myself from feeling like, oh, well, that's what they wanted there. I should be grateful that I have this. I went through all these weird feelings and like, I'm like, get over yourself, Jess. Like, that's weird. You don't have to be so sentimental about it. So here I am destroying the illustrator's picture. So go me. That's how I see it. And I'm also going to say that the better I feel after all of this trauma and things that I've been going through lately with my family, um, you'll start to see more of my personality come out. Like, I really am nothing but a silly weirdo. And I'll be able to be free with that more and more as I start to let myself heal and compartmentalize. And even if the compartments don't make sense yet, still putting it up there and working through what I can make sense of something or see myself in what I did or didn't do. Um, all I can do is think about whatever my behavior is in it and do my best to whatever that was, never to repeat it again. If I can even find my behavior in it. So yeah, self-healing is really difficult, but you can do it. My crazy message for the day, okay? Anybody else out there going through some mental thing, trauma, and they're just like feel like they're just not dealing? It happens. And that to me is why I'm trying to build community because I have sanity in community, I have sanity in family. And because I don't really have family, I have to go find my own family. I don't plan to sit around and feel sorry for myself, is basically what I'm saying. Oh, you want me to slow down? Okay, I'll slow down. I'm so sorry. Amy, I'm sorry. I'm just going along here. I like these little lovebirds, don't you? What did you all think about the half pans? These ceramic half pans. Are these not cool? I think they're cool. They're going to last forever, literally, as long as they don't get broken. Um, yeah, they're cool. These take a long time to make. They take a very long time to make because I have this little pattern or whatever. Um, yeah, and it's like you're like waiting for it to be dry enough or wet enough, and then you put it together, and then you have to seal the edges. And if you don't seal the edges right, it cracks and breaks, and they explode. And then you have to go through a bisque, and then you have to glaze them, and then paint. Oh, it's a lot of process. You guys will see me do it. That's why it's called Bellatini art, is because I'm going to do more than just color here. So that's just as I'm feeling better. Yeah, Lori, I mean, we have to, like, I am down in the bottom of the pits of life right now. Like, I'm not kidding you. It could always get worse, and I know that. But I know that we are all dealing with things, and not one problem is more important than the next person's, you know, feelings or whatever they're dealing with. But community is something that humans need. It's not a like a maybe type of thing. It's something that humans literally need is community. They need people. We need each other. And yet we're so entirely mean to each other, if that makes sense. And so, I'm one of those people that just because I was born into something doesn't make it mine. And I've learned that lesson very, very well this last month. And I will humble myself and go find where I do belong. And so that's just what you have to do sometimes. You have to realize that the journey isn't that might be where your journey started. It doesn't mean it's where it's going. Does that make sense? I hope so. So I'm just going in and kind of thickening up a little bit. You got your stuff ready, Amy? Or do I need to slow down still? What is it that you said you would like if you painted? Move back. I think I need to start writing down some of the channels that go live, like a schedule, because I've found some really cool just art channels that incorporate into the coloring channel world. And I am interested in mixed media. And that's really what I do is mixed media. Um, and I feel like I keep them. And I can go back and watch the live. I love to just ask questions and wonder, and I feel like that's what they're there for. The person that's doing the live wants you to ask questions. I don't know, like sometimes, there's lurking, and lurking is perfect. I need, but for me, I want to ask questions. Goodness gracious, I have a clear gesso, but want to still do it. This I have clear gesso, but still want to do the ceramic pieces. Oh yeah, yeah. I have clear also, and I started with clear, and I got all the way through the process of drying the gesso. Am I gonna still see the lines through it? Is that how that works? So I stopped the process and went and got white. Can you guys hear Ruger barking right now? Or Remy growling? Oh, good, good, good answer. That is a great answer. Good job, Sarah. Not on my A game yet, guys. Bear with me. I'm getting there. Slowly. There. Remy was just growling. So I'm wondering if you can hear him. I guess I'm asking myself right now, is there anything else I want to get rid of on this picture? And honestly, I think I'm going to get rid of the flower too. It's kind of like just like this weird thing just chilling out there in the middle. I could probably make it look cool, but I want to really concentrate. So I'm just building up the layers, trying to keep it much because I don't want to wrinkle the paper already. Does that make sense? Amy, did you say you were going to join me on this? You're following. Are you doing this along with me or are we just listening? And anytime I'm going too fast or too slow, you just tell me and I'll improvise. And I appreciate that, Amy. Did you guys say that Kim comes on at 3 o'clock? Oh no, 3 my time, so 6 o'clock her time. Oh, it's okay. That's why we have colored pencils, but I'm doing something different. Oh. So are you trying this? With the gesso? You don't have to worry about the gesso, just put it anywhere. It is going to make it crispier, but I think you'll be okay. You might be okay. It might be not like your original thought process, but yeah. So I'm actually going to go in and remove these lines also. I'm not into this whole arrow looking fake thing on here. So I love her actual pictures, but sometimes this line work just gets to me. It just really gets to me. Like, what do we need shooting arrows going up the side of the bird, you know? And it's cute. Don't get me wrong. It's cute. It's just not me. It's not me. I don't want arrows going up my bird's tail. It's just not my jamity jam, right? Okay, is there anything else I cannot live with? See, this stuff's peeking through and it's white gesso. You got to really give it a good wham bam. Thank you, man. Like, smear that stuff all over the place. Is clear gesso just to protect from bleeding through? Pretty much. Pretty much. Also, it's going to prep it's going to prep. So, like, okay, if you're going to start with like a black background and a clear black gesso, you have a flat, even surface to work with. It does also how thin this Rita Berman paper is. It's not meant for water in any way, shape, or form. Is that versus it's just it's a page now, if that makes sense. I'm going to grab my heat gun and give this a whirl, okay? Remy, back up. I'm working. No, 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 no. You got to go over here. Come on, come on, go. Oh, you do? Yeah. Yeah, you could try this with watercolor pencils for sure. I mean, if you're super, super anal retentive about your pages and the smoothness of them, I don't know. Maybe you could take a fine something and magic eraser. I don't know what you would use to kind of feel sandy. It feels rough. It feels textured. So I'm gonna go there because I don't really want these things sticking out. Sticking out. Dot 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 dot. Da, 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 da. In a circle, going in a circle, going in a circle. And you know what? I want to slap some of this on here too because this is crazy. Those little arrows, they're not my jam. Let's get rid of the unjam. Yeah, over here too. Boom, 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 boom. Get rid of you. Mm, 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 mm. Yep, they gotta go. They gotta go. And you know, you can use some water and thin this out if you want to. I'm gonna be okay with this texture. Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret it later. We'll find out, right? So, oh, what is it that you're trying? What are you? Tell me what you're doing, Amy. So you can see faintly. You can see it, right? Um, I feel like it needs a lot more for me to like get it where I want it to be to not have these lines. Can you see them? So you can see the faint lines through it. So I can go with, trying to add more product to it, but these are pretty transparent. I would say Neo 2s are going to be a little bit more opaque. But I think, what do you think? You think I should try more gesso or go darker with my color? What would you do? Yeah. Was my heat gun as loud as it normally is? All right. See the outcome. Yeah. Yeah. Um, Amy, like, remember what I was telling you the other day? Like, What do you want to see me do? What do you want to try with me? And this is what I'm saying. Like if there's little things like this, or now you want to see it with a watercolor pencil, or you want to see it with, I don't care. You just let me know what you want to do on this channel and we'll try it. If it's backgrounds, I probably haven't done it, and I probably are just going to try it with you. So, this is not the color I used. But this one is, I think. Yes. So when I did this one, all I did is I left the white space where I didn't put gesso. I left it. I squiggled the lightest color here, or the color that I want here. Went right around it. The whole mamma jamma. I'm not going to go right here because I'll fade that in. I don't want it to be super stark. And I'm coming around the corner. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. So now that I know I'm going to do this page to this page, that's why I didn't care if that overlapped when I did it. I was like, oh, I'll just keep going. And then I was like, no, I want to stop and show my buddies. So then I took the darker color and just went up in these corners. Pretty, I guess, heavy. Okay, so when you use the pens, can I use distress ink or pastel chalks? I don't see any reason why you can't use anything. All gesso is doing is like putting your page at ground zero. So you have something for it to grab onto. It's adding tooth to your page. That's all it's doing. Remember, though, that with every stroke of gesso, you're adding texture. So depending on what kind of medium you're using, it will pick up that. And maybe we should do some sort of demonstration on the different things and how they look and how they come out. Maybe that's a good video for me to do. You know, how does one of these little crayon things come out versus a watercolor pencil versus a watercolor versus a ink versus, you know, all those things. Those are the things that I'm wanting to figure out, because then we'll have more understanding of how to do backgrounds if we understand how to use our products. I know very well that, you know, like I've said, I drive people crazy with the information I have, but the information I have is what helps succeed, because that's how, you know, you can always go find a way or figure out how a product works for you. But to be honest with you, because I'm a product maker, I have an understanding that we, as the person that created the product, have an understanding of how we thought it would work. So if you're going to rub the grain against what the person thought the pencil should come out like, cool, you can find a way to make anything work, but there is an intention on each supply according to the maker, if that makes sense. So I added, I'm out of breath. We added a lot of this in the middle. So dark, light, medium, dark, light, medium. For what I'm doing, what I did over here. All right. Okay. It is your choice how you're going to blend, okay? It's 100% your choice. I'm choosing one of these little, mine's very broken. One of these rubber dubber things, I don't know, blush things. What do you call these things? I have lost my towel. Let's see if it's happening. Because it falls on the floor. And I can't just pick up things. It stays down there for a little while. Okay. So when you use the pins, did we answer that question, Amy? Were you clear on that, or do you want me to go deeper? Back up. Back up. No. I'm not going to be able to hear you for a few minutes doing a breathing treatment. Okie dokie. I appreciate those thumbs up. I appreciate them. All right. Amy, let me know when you're ready. You can do this with your Neo 2s. I think you have Neo 2s, right? Just pick like 3 colors. You're going to go like, let's say you're going to do blue. You're going to go with like a navy blue, a sky blue, and like a royal blue. And you're going to go navy blue, baby blue, and then royal blue. That's what you would do with yours to get this look over here in a different color combination. But I'm waiting for Amy to tell me when she's ready. All right, go ahead and spray my page down. I have one of these misters. I told you it's not very cute, but I have a mister. And I'm just spraying it down so that I can get those pigments to kind of start releasing. And I'm going to start with a clean brush. And I know mine isn't because I used it last night and was lazy about putting my things away like I told you I do. I think a lot of times while I'm cleaning, it gives me the chance to kind of process what I might want to do or do next. Okay, yeah. So I just cleaned off my brush is what I was doing over here. Literally just making circles around the brown. Maybe I'm touching, oh, I need this page underneath. Maybe I'm touching the middle color a little bit. But you do want to be careful because the more it dries, the less it'll blend. But you don't want too much water because then you're going to be left with a nasty page. Oh, okay. Lori has them then, huh? You know, there's so many other brands out there that are just as cool as Neo 2s. Don't feel like you have to have Neo 2s because they are the brand that everybody reaches for. There's tons of things out there that you can get and start with. They are very cool because there's so many colors, but really I'm not any more impressed with them than I was my Lyras or anything else. So this is going to start pulling a little yellow because I'm running into the yellow. But I'm going to push that back up into it. And now I'm going to go back around. I have this section over here to finish. I'm sorry. Oh, I did go back in with the brown too, is what I did. With this brown. So I did end up using 4 colors. But we're going to add to both pages tonight. I know this over here is our buddy color, but I figured I might as well just conquer this at the same time. So remember I told you I was going to leave this blank here and blend. So I'm just going to sweep it. And then I'll start to do exactly that around the page, is sweep it back in, pulling that color down. I will get organized enough at some point to be able to know what I'll be doing in the future and get you guys like, a list of what I plan to work on. So if you guys want to pull those things out and don't feel like you're rushed, I will be doing that. I will be full force doing this channel. It will take me time. And so those of you that are here with me now and putting in the time with me, I truly, truly appreciate you. So I'm just moving my brush now back. I didn't rub the actual pigment. I'm sweeping it back towards the dark color now. Where I don't want it to blend, I take my fingers and I just rub up against my fingers. It's going to touch a little bit, but that's okay. But that's how you get those smoother lines. Just rub, rub, rub. Don't scrub the page with something hard. It has to be something like this. They sell them on Amazon, in stores, everywhere. You'll thank yourself by having these later on. Use them with the distress inks. You can use them all kinds of ways. You're going to put this on your distress ink like this, and then rub and rub and rub and scrub and scrub and rub over and over again. Okay. So I'm actually going to go back in. Now I'm going to take this darker color and I'm going to scrub that up there in these just gentle corners. I'm also somewhere right here, somewhere right here, somewhere here, this whole corner. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. So if anybody heard from Keely, do we know if Keely's doing okay? I've had it on top chat this whole night, so I have no idea if I've missed anything. Oh, you have two Neo2s. You don't need a lot. You can just need the primaries. Birthday from my twin. LOL. I'm doing my distress ink. Oh, you guys are cute. Okay. Hopefully that camera makes it easier to see. Okay. And then I'm going to go in and add this light around the perimeter again. And you're just going to build layers and layers and layers and layers and layers, 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 and more layers. And then, hey, no barking. Go. All right, guys. Oops, I don't know, I'm throwing things. Alrighty. Alrighty. This page is still damp. So I'm just going to spray up in the air a little bit, see if I can get some movement on this. And I'm just going to go through the same steps. I'm going to go around in circles through the darkest part. And then I'm going to drag that back towards these lighter colors, but not into the medium colors, not into the light colors. Like I don't want to get there yet. You can now see that there's like light, medium, and this is now dark. Treat this original color the same as you do the dark color. Make those two the same life, if that makes sense. Like they belong together. Just scrub a dub dub. You guys have the same birthday? Michelle's birthday is this week, isn't it? All right, I'm going to dry it. I'm laying this down a minute while it dries, while it cools, so it'll be flat. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. Back. Okay. So I have an area down here. I'm like, okay, I'm not happy with it. That's okay. I'm going to have to repeat the process. So I'm going to go in with this lighter color, darker color over here, and lighter here, and lighter here, and darker here. To give it, that's it. Oop, oop. Too much, man. And you take your little squiggly wiggly and you squiggly wiggly it right back over it because you didn't like those lines. So what? Do it again. Right? Get what you want. Just careful with the scrubbing because you don't want to scrub it off. I did too much over here. It's like a little scrubby. Too much scrubby. I don't like that. So we'll go over it with more pigment. It moves it around. I don't like it right there. I'm going to move it with more pigment. This is all too harsh right here. I want some more. Look at it with what I just did. I just put these on the opposite. Lame. Okay. Add some more. I'll drop this down a wince. You can hear it. It's scratchy. Scratchy. More of this. I'm gonna take it back up a little. Little. Down. Okay. I'm gonna put some of this over here too. And I'm gonna put some over here too. And right there too. And maybe up here too. Oh, and I'm gonna do some of this too. Right here. Just keep going until you can't go anymore. That's just what you do. And then you're gonna take your sprayer and you're going to spray it. And immediately I see that the pigments are activating, and I'm going to take advantage of that and move like lightning fast, because if they dry, you can't really blend them. See? See what I did? All right. So I'm going to get a little more color over here. Blend this out. This is all dry. This hasn't been touched since last night. So I'm just adding some more of this. That's too much. And I'm bringing it over here so that it'll be a little bit more even. So yeah, 2-page background spread. Like that easy. You could have like connected with they'll have it. You can add to the table there. You can just have as much fun with this as you want. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Do you like it? Do you like it? No. No. Okay, so I'm doing the top first, going to the bottom without gesso just to see the difference. Thanks, Jess. I'm enjoying. Yeah, good. Thank you. I just wanted to see if you guys thought you could do this. These are like really inexpensive, basically like Neotooths. You can do that with any of these watercolor sticks in general. Um, Lyra's, Neo 2s. There's a lot of budget brands out there that are really cool too. I don't want you to feel like you have to have Neo 2s. They're expensive. They last a very long time, but they're expensive. And yeah, I mean, you could do this with ink tents easily. If you have ink tents is a nice brand. But if you have them, you could do this with your any watercolor. You just keep layering. These types of mediums are just going to have a natural, like a stronger pigment in them in order to get this effect. I'm sorry, I'm my camera. Um, yeah, yeah. What do you think? Could you do this? Would you do this? All right. So my process in this now, I am doing a monochromatic look. So I'm going to do all black and white with a punch of teal. And I'm only going to color the egg to match similar to this. I'm going to add some teal in here. And it's going to be a black, white, and yellow warm base. That's all I'm doing on this. And I'm trying to see if I can keep a simple palette. So basically my palette is black, like burnt umber, and teal. So that's my plan tonight. And with this buddy color in general, that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to work with my what the heck are these things called? These things. Derwent ink tints to add my color in. So that's my plan on this. It's going to look so cool. Thanks, doll. Thank you. My palette is extremely simple. I'm keeping it literally to this right now. I've already used these. So this, actually, I don't know why I keep bringing this one in. It isn't. So these are the ones I used to come up with the background. I'm going in with the green aquamarine 1220 ink tints through some of the details where I want to bring in color. This is Holbein gouache, white, titanium. This is black watercolor. So that you know, if you mix any gouache with your watercolor paint, you automatically have a gouache paint. So I always like to explain, like if you have a really good white gouache paint, this is Holbein, I think, and any color pigment, you now have like basically an entire gouache set, because you can just add this to your paint and now you have gouache. That's why watercolor is such a good medium, because you can have watercolor with the transparent colors, and then you can make it opaque with adding this white titanium or any titanium really. I'm sorry, oxide with it, gouache, and a versatility of that. So it gives me the ability to work like with the transparency and the opaque. And I'm working with this little baby brush right here. This is a Cotman, and a Winsor Newton Cotman. It's a size 3. And I've got some water and a little towel. And you want to see the ink tints? Okay. I start there then. So I'm going to go in right here, and my pencil's really sharp on the side. Sorry, I'm a little shaky today. Was up standing up too much. I'm just going to brush this right along the sides of the areas that I want to darken. Let me use the word like low lights. You want the low lights here. You want the depth here. They're going to come around the corner and you're just lining it. You're not pressing hard. You're grazing it. You're trying to actually get pigment off. You're not trying to activate like the other binders in here yet. The harder you push, the less product will come off of a Derwent. The lighter your pressure, the better for painting it because you now have different layers to work with. I'm going to activate it, right? My brush is just, you got to really take off that water from the barrel. The barrel, you're barely tapping it in. And I'm going to actually start in the middle of something, work circles out, let it touch and activate, right? And then I'm going to pull it back towards the water that's already there and formed. If you created enough water, not too much water, but enough water there, when you activate your Derwent ink tints, it will automatically start to flow. With a clean brush and you can go back in and reactivate the water a little bit. Don't touch the blue, just move that water and it'll automatically soak in. Does that make sense? Do you want me to pull the camera closer so you can see that again? Or are you good in this position? So it's really wet right now, and I don't want to contaminate it anymore. That's what you have to remember about using any watercolor medium. Slow. Slow, slow, slow. Fast is slow and slow is fast. Adding soft, soft, soft circular motions. See, the paper is already wet over here. This is not watercolor paper. It does not work the same way. You have to understand your paper and understand what's going to happen when you use your product. Knowing what the brand was intending for the product is very important because it's going to tell you how it's going to act. Now, after that, you can discipline it however you want to. But at first, it's going to act how it was intended to act. This is intended to activate right away. It's ink. It's not going anywhere. It's there. So now I have to tell it, okay, we'll soften up on those edges if that's where you're going to stay. Then I take the paint and I bring it over just a little bit so that it'll mix. It becomes like a game in your head to keep doing it. It says, okay, I'm good. I'm taking off comments. Can only see your picture. So if anything, okay, no worries. Let me pull it down so that you can see both. That might be easier. Okay. Yeah, and don't feel like you can't tell me. Tell me. I'll make it. I'll make it as much as I can. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go in here and add the depth that I'm looking for right here. So I told you I was working with black, white, basically burnt umber, and this teal. So if I want more depth, I have black. Remember, I have black to go in later. And if I need it lighter, I have white to do that. So I got through I'm going to get through all of these. What do I keep doing that for? Jeez. Okay. And this is the tedious part because you have to go in here and you have to soak up all you put your water in the center of all of these things. Don't let your brush get contaminated though. You just want to get that water in the centers so that the colors will start to move towards it. The moment you contaminate your brush, you need to go back in. All right. So that's that. And I'm going to go back in and add more and more and more. So, I mean, I could take my blow dryer right now and make it go faster. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So then I'm going to go back in with the light hand. Make sure you use the tip of your pencil, not the flat part. You're not burnishing anything. So you should have some scratchy scratch on your pencil. And keep turning it, constantly turning it. You're turning it. You're turning it. You have to train yourself that every time you lift off, you turn. It doesn't have to be by much. You just move it. And you go till you can't feel scratch anymore and you turn it again. Use those edges. Remy, outside. Outside. No barking. Remy. Stop. Go get Ruger. Go get Ruger. Okay. So then just go back and reactivate. It's a lot of process. Ink tents are probably not an easy man sport. I don't think they are. I'm just going back in and slightly rubbing them out, just like the same way I did over here, creating depth. All done. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the color there and then decide what else I'm gonna do color on. I'm probably gonna do color probably here here and maybe this label. Remy, no, you're going to leave the room. All done. All done. Enough. Hey, enough. Thank you. So I grazed it on the outside and get your inside wet. Don't touch the colors yet. Don't touch the colors yet. If you do, not a big deal. Just don't do it yet, okay? Let that settle a little bit. And then you come back and pull it back down slightly. Soft, 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 soft. Just to where it touches the other water. Because you're just wanting it to like give it a little kiss. You're not asking it to like shake hands and like just a delicate kiss. You know, you're not like, hey, nice to meet you. You know, you're not doing that. You're like, oh, hey, nice to see you again. That kind of an attitude towards it. And if it gets dark in the area, you don't want that line there, take water and brush it back and get up. Break it up. Yep. Just like that. And take that line and push, 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 push towards the water. Don't let it go over. And then come back in and you push it back like this. And if you get up close, you can really see that it's actually like going backwards. And leave it. Leave it. Let it be wet. Let it be crazy. Let it do its thing. Okay. What's everybody snacking on, drinking? What you got? What you got? What is that? What is the blue? This one is a green aquamarine Derwent Inktense 1220. So I'm going to move it over and do this little flower here. Help me with flowers because I really don't know how to do flowers very well. And it's okay that it has all that in it. All it's going to do is just add depth because blue and orange make gray. It works. Be a little bit off because it has green in it. But it'll be all right. It'll be all right. So here I go, right over that color. It's going to mix. I know. Don't be scared. I'm going to stay with me on this one. Okay. Same method. What putting water in the middle of it does is equivalently adds low light or highlights to it. So it's automatically securing that it's going to be lighter than the other areas. That's what it's supposed to do to you. So what do? We let it sit there. Hot tea with lemon and honey. Good. Plain Lay's. Love it. Water and a Snickers. All right. So my brush is dry and I've reshaped it so that I can come in here, excuse me, and drag these blues against this water. I want to do it so it barely taps. Tap, 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 tap. I'm just tapping it in there. I'm not brushing it in there. I'm tapping. Do the petal. Reshape your brush. I'm just teaching or talking about what I do. Bump, 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 bump. Leave it, leave it. Put some water in that middle. Why? Because we want some more white space there. With some more white space. A little rub, rub, rub. I'm going to go right in here. Water that because it's pretty dry. And I got to go back in here and pull these out. Pull it, push it, pull it, push it. Boom. Boom, shakalaka. Water. Yep. Water. Put that water in. And you just push it around. Yeah, like that. And then you push. Yep. Water. And it does this help. I'm going to let that one dry. This one's drying over here. So, normally what I don't normally go, okay, I'm going to do all my blue right now. I'll be back and forth, black, gray, white, blue, because I'm going to add layers as I go. Not watercolor doesn't work very well if you're just working on one thing, in my opinion, because the depths look different depending on when and what you do. But see, and I really wish I would have went in with gesso and got rid of all these weird lines. Too much for me, I guess. This time, I'm only wanting to activate the color because I'm not trying to blend right now. I'm trying to get depth in there. And ink tints work because they work by layer. So if my first layer is blue, now I have to go back in and deal with the fact that it's blue. I don't get in watercolor, I can take that away and be like, oh, I don't like that. And I can take it away. That's not how ink tints work. They're very permanent. You're right. So my idea was literally just add some very simple coloring here. Okay. I didn't want to do anything too much to any of it. So on this side over here, I'm also going to do blue. I think I'm going to do this blue. I think some of the doodads and the cups blue. Maybe I'll do some blue down here, and I don't know. This one will have probably a little bit more blue in it. I really wanted to balance this side and bring it down here. I thought about these leaves, but I'm not sure how I feel about that. Can you guys let me know if you're still here? Because my side says that there's nobody here, and I don't think anybody is here. All right. Maybe I'll do. Blue here. See, there's going to be a different color here because gray is there. The black, whatever it's trying to be. All right, cool. Maybe should I do this jar label over here also? Would that balance it, Amy? Hmm. Right. Hmm. Feel like something right here needs it, but I'm not gonna overthink it right now. Okay, let's work on. I'm gonna use that black that's already there from the illustrator, and that's where I'm gonna lay down majority of my color, and then barely, 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 barely touch it when it comes out of there. So once you get all of this colored, do you have any clear gesso on the objects? I do not. Um, no, but do you want me to try it and see what happens? Appreciate all those thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't, if you would, that'd be great too. The page that looks blue, is that just your lighting? Oh, this. It is. So I haven't touched anything here. And so it's literally just white. I haven't got, not sure what I'm going to blend this in, but I feel like I'm going to blend it in with more like a sandy color. And I'm going to bring the table somehow into that. I don't know. I'm going to send you mine and look at it. Perfect. Waiting for it. Let's do clear gesso right here because I don't want that flower there. Let's see what happens. I don't like these either. Probably gonna be a little awkward that there's just this missing thing right there, but I'll bring the background into it. I forgot I changed my camera angle. I'm sorry. So I just put the clear gesso over this. Where's my phone? Oh dear. I don't know where my phone is. Remy, you taking my phone? My phone, didn't you, little mister? Lori, did you send it yet? Yeah, there it is. Oh, no. Okay, I would guess I'm just waiting to see it. Dry its gesso. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. You're talking to Lori. Sorry. All right. Yeah, it's definitely not going to cover it. It's just going to take on more water medium. So it means we have to use the white to get rid of them. Clear gesso is going to be great if you're just looking for a fresh surface or to thicken up your surface. I think that's the story, and we're sticking to it. I'm just blending with my brush right now, softening some of these edges, those harsh edges it leaves. Just kind of blending it up and around. Make sure you use enough water. Don't scrub too hard. It's going to activate it a little bit more. So be careful if you have an area that you really like. You're going to move it around and you're probably not going to like it anymore. Now I think what I'm going to do is just take some of the color from here. I almost stuck that in the clear gesso. I'm just waiting for those areas to dry a little bit, maybe, before adding a little more color. And I'm just kind of like adding texture now, adding some movement if I didn't want it to be so. I mean, you can ombre it if you want to. I like texture in it. Yeah, yeah, no judgment. That's what we love here. I'm trying it too. I've never done this before. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You're doing so good. I love it. Are you happy about it? Do you feel good about it? Yeah, dry out that paper and then do it again. You'll see a huge difference because your colors are going to lighten up as they dry. That's beautiful. And don't be afraid to play with it like this. Add things, take things away. Go darker if you want to on the edges. Do what you want, maybe. You know what I mean? It looks beautiful though. This is where you let your creative world out, you know? Don't have to be so confined. Sometimes I feel confined sometimes with colored pencils. I get overwhelmed with that. You'll see I'll lose my focus when I am using colored pencils. It's not because I don't like them. I love them. It's so slow for me. It's like, I don't know, it's like watching golf for some people, it's real slow. And this is just really getting in to those details that maybe aren't going to show up on the camera or in video, or the ones that when I look at it up close, I'm like, that's not good. Finish that. So I don't want that harsh line that's going to end up right here. So I'm just going to rub that back with water and let it not be able to. The hardest challenge in watercolor mediums is understanding water and what kind of line it's going to leave. See, I just dry off a ton of it, and I'm going to pick up some and pull it back off of it. And I'm going to use that to come back in and feather it out. So it looks a little more natural and not so stark. And I'm just going to move a ever so slight glow of color around the bottoms of the objects, where the shadows would be. This would be pretty dark right here. And look, the illustrator told you that because she put a dark, 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 dark line there. She told you, hey, make this area dark because this area would not have any light on it. So she gave that to you. Like this last egg right here. She says, put more depth there. She's showing you where to put your things. Doesn't matter if this is a pencil, a pen, a watercolor, a wax crayon. It doesn't matter. The techniques are the techniques. You're going to go around these edges that have these dark, dark lines. And you're going to add over and over again. Y'all, I think if I keep adding, I'll just end liking it more things. So yeah, it'll get there. Yeah, it really will get there. Remember there's stages. It's not, patience pays off. Does that make sense? Patience pays off. Not easy, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but I definitely know that we have to have patience. So see around the bottom of this bowl here, I've got a pretty, heavy pigmented brush with a lot of water on it. And I'm trying to get my brush right up heavy here. So illustrator tells you heavy back there, light right there, and go real dark. So she's saying draw a line there almost. She's saying get a ton of pigment right there so that the bowl has a shadow. And she's telling you bring it this way, and lighten up by dragging. Does that make sense? Tap, tap, tap. So tap, tap, tap in these dark areas. And I'm going to leave it and add. So she's got a really dark shadow here, right? She got shadow. She's like, put all your pigment into it. Like Luke used to say, put your back into it, Mom. Luke is our youngest son. So I reference him a lot because he's hilarious. He was so hilarious when he was a kiddo. He's just turned 18, so I can't call him a kiddo anymore. I do though. So around the corner, dark, 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 dark. See him feathering off into it. I'm letting go of it because the artist, the illustrator told you, don't make it so dark over here. It's going to make it look heavy and dumpy. So, yep, like that. Just a bit of shadow. And you don't have to use this color. This is just my medium color right now. Now it's medium because I've um, these two in the middle right now. And then this one, or this 4 colors going. So I've created of an ombre. And I'm going to use these colors to go in here and highlight these areas that this illustrator said, make it thicker, make it thicker. So I'm doing that. So I'm going to tune into this. Don't be afraid to wrap it back around, you know, add more depth to anything that the illustrator said, add depth here. Add it. Just put it on there. And I'm going to end up coming in there with grays and the other dark brown. There will be more shadowing, but the only colors we're going to see are the colors we have here. I will not use any other products besides these. This is all I'm allowed to use right here. That's it. And gesso. That's it. That's my color palette tonight. And that's what I'm working with. Hey, Keely, how are you? Long time no see. I hope you're doing okay. So because I stopped and talked and did all that, I have to re-prep my brush. I have to dip it and then get everything out of the barrel and reshape it, right? Reshape it because a wild brush is never going to get you the detail you want. And I'm going to activate it. This is a pretty heavy pigmented brush now. And that's because I'm going to come in here and start here and add a little bit more. I just really want to play with these darker areas. Do you need to take a break, Jess? I do. Thank you, Lori. I'm going to do that. What a support system I flippin' have. Thank you, Lori. I'm going to get rid of some of this harsh with water only. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna go feed my pups and take a little break, and then I'll probably be back in approximately less than 5 minutes because I'm gonna be a superhero like that. So I'm on a break. You guys can hang out with Hello Kitty. It's so warm today, almost 70 degrees. And I don't know the difference because I stay inside, but what I do notice the difference. Whew, first of all, I gotta catch my breath. Is I don't have my heater on. So, and I'm not super uncomfortable because I can like not temperature regulate. I'm putting lotion on because my hands are dry. Well, thanks for my quick little break. Don't mind me while I hydrate and all the things. Thank you, Keely. So, let my hands dry a little bit before we move on. So, I thought of a question, for myself if I was watching my video. I was thinking, why wouldn't I just get black gouache and white gouache and do this? And because the layers act different with water color than they do with gouache. And sometimes I don't want that heaviness of the gouache. So the butter dish down here is heaviness of gouache. And right here you can see the lightness and the transparency of watercolor. I'll bring this back to life with more watercolor. Whew. I can't really talk until my heartbeat gets below like 120. As long as it stays between like 100 and 110, I can usually talk. Once past 110, I start breathing heavy, and then 120, I'm like catching my breath. And anything above 120, I'm feeling like, forget this. All right, back to the drawing board. Okay. Where were we? We were over here, I think. Were we over here? No, was I adding color? I was adding color. So I'm gonna actually, should I, do I, what do you do? I really don't want to add any other color, so I'm just gonna stick with what I have. All right. Okay. So I'm just, again, it's like my focus to keep adding these colors throughout, but I can't do them over and over again because it's not going to dry right. So I do it in sections. Like, I don't like this line right here, so I'm just going to blend it out and add. And I'm going to tap, tap, tap to add. Remember? In this situation, tap, tap, tap to add. Tap, tap, tap to add. Boop, 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 boop. If you lift too much, you're going to add more lines. Got to remember that. So I should probably get this clear gesso on over here while I'm working over here because I'm going to need it to dry. I was trying to get this background, close to done before we leave this live. I was wondering what that is. Is it a chunk of butter? Oh, it's a butter dish. I don't know. Maybe it's a chunk of butter because it's on a paper. I just touched that. That's not cool. I think it's sack things for it. I don't know. Maybe not, but it's butter. I think because they're making eggs and breakfasts and stuff. I think it's a butter chunk. It's not a butter dish, right? And the lovebirds are about to eat the breakfast. Let's get this gesso on. White gesso. White gesso. Because I don't want these flowers there. I don't want these lines there. I don't want these lines there. The weird lines running through the bird. Just lines whacking the bird's tail off. I don't know, but we're running through the pie or the breakfast, whatever this is. Just random lines. Maybe it's not a big deal to other people, but I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't have to. How about them apples? How about them? I'm just adding a little bit more where I know this is like through still. And then I'll come in and add more color to it. Pow, 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 pow. Ooh, it's still so see-through. Gosh, I wish we could listen to music. Wouldn't it be so fun? It doesn't matter what kind it is. Even if it's like instrumental or jazz or friggin' anything. I'll take anything. Oh, anything. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody want to tell me a story? Is everybody mentally doing okay today? Those random lines. I'm going to get rid of these two while I'm at it because I'm not really understanding what those were either. But they were there and didn't really think they had anything to do with the breakfast scene. So, bye! Bye, little flowers falling into the flower. I'm like entertaining myself over here. So I need to check and see how cold it is outside right now. Because right now is when I go, okay, it's too cold now. My fingertips are hurting. And so how cold is it right now? It's in the 50s or like 50 and lower. So that means that when it gets to that cold is when I'm uncomfortable. When I need to pay attention to being uncomfortable. I should also get a temperature thing in here so I know how hot it is. So I can tell, okay, I need to regulate it because here it comes, blah, blah, blah. You got problems, Jess? So I'm going to take the whoop-de-doos out of there too, because I don't know what the whoop-de-doos are, but cute whoop-de-doos they are, but cute whoop-de-doos that aren't staying. I'm thinking about keeping these. That's cute. It's almost like she got a little shoulder thing on. But I think that's just, is it just too much? I don't know. Just leave it, Jess. Excuse my voice. 51 here. Outside, so we got like the same weather. Feels like we have the same kind of weather pattern lately. Because I feel like when we've checked to see what the weather is with you, that it's been literally the same as what it's been outside for us. I just think this is a little book. So, all right, what are we thinking? You thinking it's okay? Are we good to go? I'm thinking. Da, 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 da. I'm loving it. 36. No. You know, I'm a Southern California gal. I was born and raised in Ventura County, and also Santa Barbara area. And I really grew up with a very even-tempered climate. Like winters aren't really cold and summers aren't really hot, and there's this beautiful marine layer that keeps your morning temperatures just a little bit warmer but not hot. It's beautiful, beautiful paradise, literally paradise. And um Pacific Northwest is absolutely beautiful. It is one breathtaking place, but it is mighty cold, and not because it's cold, because it's always wet. It's always humid. The air is colder because it's wet and it's freezing. I love that you're having so much fun with it. Me too. I really am. Thank you. Thanks for being here and doing this with me. So I'm gonna see about getting this clippy clue on here, and I'm going to grab something to drink again. What are we doing on time? We got 45 minutes. Boy, oh boy, my eyes were horrid yesterday. Horrid. Ooh, that diet had a little bit of ice in it. Woo-hoo, that's like pure joy in life right there. Stamped with approval. All right, let's blow this popsicle stand. Let's get back to it. All right. Did anyone answer? Is Kim's live at like 3, or does she have a set time? Would like to go show some support. And anyone else that you guys want me to show support to, because, you know, we got to build community that way by showing support. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how that's going to work then. Hopefully. Dang it, Jess. I missed a spot. Oh, I missed a spot. I can even use this gesso to move the color around if I wanted to. You can create your own gesso color. So if white is too stark to start with, which we all know it is, you can go in there and gesso some of that color into it, mix it in, I guess. That's what I'm learning right now. I've done this with other